Another day, another video. How are you guys doing? My name's Vincenzo, and I am playing video again. I was reading comments, and there was a comment that basically asked me what to do with all my junk from gathering. And I kind of answered it in a reply to the comment, but it also made me start thinking a lot about what I do with the stuff I gather and just what the hell do I do in game. And the answer is not a hell of a lot. Not recently anyway. Let's get rid of that. I'll go get rid of this here in a second before I go do what I had planned on doing in this video. As far as just kind of a short answer to what I do with all the stuff that I do gather, you can see my storage is just kind of chock full of a bunch of crap. I'm going to answer that with I collect it. The whole idea is to increase my wealth overall in game, and that leads me to think about why. What's the point of that? Well, in any MMO, I guess the end game is basically PvP, right? To have decent gear. PvP, all that stuff. Well, I haven't done Node Wars. My guild is basically dead, the one that I'm in. It's a AFK life skill guild, basically. So I don't really get up to that much, but the ultimate goal is to just progress through the game, right, and get the best gear possible. Well, to do that, you're going to need tons of these stones. It starts with blackstone, armor, and weapon. Then it moves on to concentrated blackstone of armor and also a weapon. I don't have any weapon ones left right now. I used them all making different things. And then eventually flawless magical blackstones that are crafted out of massive pure magics and the hards and sharps that you get from gathering. So that's what I do with the stuff that I collect, is I keep it. That's why I've got 1,000 hard blackstone of crystal of the armor type, and then I've got 600 of the weapon type. And then I have 700-800 of those each. And I don't buy that stuff. You know, I could easily sink all my silver into buying that stuff, and it would make it a lot faster, but I want the silver for other things. You know, there's things that you cannot get that way through the market, and the silver just makes those other items easier. You know, if you're buying gear or something, I don't really want to have to go farm the world bosses, so I can just buy that stuff. The other thing that I try to keep is the ancient spirit dust and the Kavras. That doesn't really, it doesn't really factor into the overall price of current market value. I mean, my storage is worth 31 billion, give or take, but you also have to factor in that divide this by 5 and I got another 1,200 Kavra stones sitting there, so it's really closer to, you know, 32, 33 billion, whatever it is. Maybe 34 billion. I don't know what Kavras are going for right now, but the whole idea is to use my energy and what time I play the game to overall increase wealth as a whole, not just gather stuff and get silver short term. If you have the items, you still have the silver. It's just in item form. I mean, it's assets. And you're going to use those assets the same way. You know, I mean, if you have the silver, you're going to be buying things. You know, you either sell everything you get, amass a big amount of silver and buy your items, or you put the items back and save them for a later date. Like, I plan on upgrading these Tets Depends. The way I'll do that is the same way I did the Dim Tree. I'll buy a blank piece of gear, use all my stones to build fail stacks, and last time I didn't build fail stacks because I had a bunch of them laying around, which I still have quite a few. Lower ones, not very few. I don't have very many high ones. I got 100 stack and a few 50s. But, you know, they can be built. That's why you have extra stones. When you get to that point, really, you're looking at blackstones and hards and sharps, and then memory fragments. And if you're using cronstones, then cronstones, but I don't really use those because I will on the black star stuff if it's already tet, but I'm not going to be attempting pen attempts on black star until I get everything else upgraded to pen. So unless we just get given another J hammer or something, and I have a high stack, which I don't have a high stack floating around right now, so it doesn't really matter. But the idea is to slowly build up these items so I can do an attempt one at a time instead of sinking all my free silver into it, so that I don't break the bank, so to say. I don't get setbacks. I don't make progress as fast as somebody that gets extremely lucky and is upgrading all the time. But I also don't have setbacks. So it's basically the turtle and the hare story. I'm very, very, very slowly increasing my wealth overall, building up items as I go, instead of gambling everything away. But that leads me back to my other point. Why play BDO? Like, what's the point of this whole game? The game's fun in general, but the thing that I find myself looking at is that I miss what there is to do in BDO for the game itself. It's kind of like the old saying, you miss the trees for the forest. BDO has so many small systems put together to make one big, complicated mess of a game that you get overwhelmed. And even after playing this game for 5-6 years now, sometimes I log in and I just look around, stand here, look around and think, I can't fucking do this today. There's just too much to do. I've got all these life skills to level up. I could go grinding. I have all this gear to work on. And then you take into account all the life skill gear. You also have that I gotta work on. I need to go farm more artifacts, which I got a life skill mastery +7 one the other day as a random drop from farming, no less. I've only got the one pen that I've actually attempted to do. The rest of this stuff, I mean, you can see the gear here in the inventory. I think I'm at like 270 something AP and like 310 DP, somewhere around there if I put it all on. But which isn't bad, but it's still not as high as I could be if I just went and grinded. Granted, you have to figure out a balance. Like, if you're just grinding and the grinding is no fun, then there's no point in playing the game. You have to make progress in the way that is fun for you. I guess that's my whole message. I mean, you can see I've amassed 794 days on this character, and a lot of that has been spent AFK because, work and just, I will just leave it AFK any chance I get. Not so much recently because I don't have the internet connection to do that right now, but in the future, when I do, yeah, I'll just be AFK all the time, again. But no, it's really, I guess, just pick one thing and go at it, one thing at a time. But I'll get on these kicks where I want to work on the life skill stuff, so I do that. And my personality type, I don't do well with something when I pretty much lose interest when something becomes mandatory. So if I want to level my gathering to guru, and I know that I have to just go gather to do it, I immediately lose interest in that. So the last few videos of me doing like the gathering stuff, like the meat gathering and like the rough stone gathering, and I'm going to do a video on lumbering as well. I found an old guide, so to say, from somebody saying a good place to get logs, so I'm going to go make a video on that and check that out in the future. But all that stuff is to trick my brain into leveling gathering without it seeming like a chore. It doesn't level the gathering very fast, but I don't lose interest and I have more fun. So that's one thing. And then also the combat gear. You know, I can just go grind silver, grind silver, grind silver. And I'm not doing too bad on making silver. I mean, I'm at 12.7 billion, and I've still got quite a bit of junk in here that I could collect. There's another 1.6 and a few more million in here. So I probably got 13, almost 14 billion silver laying in here, and then I got some of my inventory in storage. And then I've also got a ton of other crap that I can sell. I got 500 cappers there, and I got another 1,200 in storage. So, you know, there's another thing that I need to sell too. But quite a bit of stuff to sell back and forth. But I would rather have that stuff sitting there than actually just take the silver. And you can always buy the pen armor and stuff. But I'm kind of partial to having it say equipment created by Vincenzo. So I'm going the slow route, saving my hands in the carpal tunnel and not grinding as much, you know, making silver as I feel like doing it, and I'm having a lot more fun in the game, and I'm not getting burnt out. That being said, progress does have to be made. So my 10-minute rant is kind of over, and I do want to make a decent point this video. Let me clear this junk out of my inventory. This leads me, the whole reason I went on the whole progress rant, it leads me to, what do you need to progress? Well, I kind of touched on that. Whenever you get to a point where you're trying to upgrade gear, you need memory fragments, which I went over how to farm those before with the relic crystals and why fishing is important and why I AFK fish so much, like during the nighttime instead of doing other things. The relic shards are very, very important because you can go farm memory fragments with those. You're going to need those if you're upgrading gear. You either have to buy them or farm them. I tried to lean, I do tend to lean towards farming anytime I can, unless I just really am impatient at that time, but I lean towards farming anytime I can instead of just spinning the silver. Now it does reach a certain point when your AP is high enough, you're making 300-400 million silver an hour, that maybe you just, you know, go farm for an hour and buy the stuff instead of actually doing the scrolls. That's viable. However, the memory fragments, you're also going to need the blackstones. So that my point is, you're going to need to farm blackstones, or if you're not high AP, then you're going to have to farm the blackstones. It's relatively easy to farm these blackstones as well. There's a couple of low AP spots that are very, very good for it. At least they used to be. I haven't went to any of the higher level areas. That's another thing that I am kind of kicking myself for, and it's what kind of kicked off the whole why play Black Desert rant inside my head. You know, there's all these spots, but I end up just going to the same 2 or 3. And I always ask myself, it's like, there's a whole ocean of content, like a whole ocean out here. Just stuff all over the place. Quests. There's even Port Rat up here that I haven't been to. Just huge ocean content. And I have a boat. But what's the point of going up there? What's the point in doing that stuff? The game doesn't really give me any incentive to go up there other than, okay, cool, I can explore it. Maybe get some more energy out of it. Energy that I don't have time to use anyway. I mean, 461 energy takes forever to use. So, there's just so much depth in the game that I have missed out on just because I just don't go do it. You know, like the high level grind spots. And so I'm trying to branch out and play a little bit more in terms of higher spots and actually use the 270 something AP that I have instead of just collect it for a number, you know, on a sheet somewhere. But that being said, to upgrade your gear, you're going to need more blackstones. And one of the better places, or at least used to be, is Valencia zone. They have higher rates on the blackstones. So Desert Naga Temple is going to be good for the weapons, because they, or not the weapons, the armors. They do drop quite a few, but these chests right here, the defense gear chests, are what you're after. Because if you get ones that are upgraded, you can extract them. And then for the weapons, you're going to look at the Kadri Ruins. They drop the main weapon box, the Rosars. Those are good because you can extract the weapons out of them. This video is going to be longer. I can already feel it. So Desert Naga Temple is like up here. There's the node for it, but it's like up in here. And then the ruins are here. Ruins aren't in the desert. Desert Naga is in the desert. You can't navigate to it. It won't let you. So the Kadri ruins are probably a better option if you don't want to deal with that desert. But it just depends on what you're trying to upgrade. I should have started this video over there, but I wanted to like make a couple of other points on the items from gathering. So all my rambling does have a point. The idea is to, if you're somebody like me that just really hates grinding, when I used to play tab target games, and I think I've said this before, but when games combat system used to be tab target, I'd sit and grind all day long, but it wasn't so hard on my hands. The action combat, it's a lot of fun, but the combos of just hitting all these buttons really messes with me. And it's not even the buttons on the left hand, it's the mouse get off my screen. It's incorporating the mouse on the right hand side. It makes my right hand hurt pretty bad. So I guess I could switch to a controller, but I like to have my menus and stuff available on the keyboard, and I just don't really want to do that, I guess. I like the way they've revamped the music. I read in the patch notes, the more recent one, while I sat there for 2.5 hours downloading the 1 gigabyte patch. I was reading the patch notes, and I noticed that they said they revamped the music, background music. So I kind of like that, how it loops into another one instead of the same one over and over. But if you're somebody, back to my point, if you're somebody that doesn't like to grind, and you're kind of in the same boat as me, and keeps your grind, get off of there, and keeps your grinding to like just a bare minimum. You know, I like to grind for after about half an hour, I get kind of tired of it. The quality of life change of the item collection increased scroll gauge really made it a big quality of life change for me, because if I pop a scroll, then I'm constantly having anxiety over whether I'm wasting a single second of it. So I even hate dropping stuff back off of my horse or repairing, because it wastes scroll time. But having that gauge where you can activate it and deactivate it, turn it on and off there, and I don't have to do a full hour, it'll just stay in the gauge. You know, that was a quality of life change for me. I keep sidetracking myself with all these little side points in the middle of my main point. But my point is, if you're like me and you don't like to grind, and you want to use your grinding as efficiently as possible, I don't want to spend... Let's see if I can keep my horse up here and not get him attacked. I don't want to spend what grinding time I have, what resources I get from grinding. I don't want to have to rely on that for silver, right? Clear these. Alright. I wasn't doing much damage because I don't have all my gear on. Let's switch this stuff over. I've done that before and ended up... Okay, so I'm right at 270 for the AP, but for Awakening I'm 272. I'm at 313 on DP. So I guess since I'm Succession, you could say I'm 383. 583 gear score. I've done that before, got myself killed because I forgot to switch my gear back. Alright, so the idea is to come here, let your pets pick up everything, round all this stuff up. There's the blackstone armor already. And of course my Agris Fever is running. I usually don't even turn it off. Being a wizard, I can do that. I don't ever turn Agris off because I just don't grind that much, so anytime I'm grinding, I want it on. But the idea is to do this rotation around this thing here. Yeah, massive pure magic, those are always useful. I'm collecting, I have one of the nodes over near Star's End. I have that node bought with CP, and I've had it gathering massive pure magics for me forever. Because I am trying to mass up as many as I can. Eventually I'm going to buy secondary Black Star weapons. And I'm going to try and get pens. But I'm not going to do it on my main one because I don't want to get to where I can't go grind if I want to. That'd be the thing. I go and I start upgrading and then I fail to the point of where I've downgraded my gear. And then I would feel like grinding, and then I wouldn't be able to. So I don't do things that way. Hey look, a blue ring piece. And I don't have... I'm getting fairly decent drops here, even though these things are gray named. But I don't have the collection scroll on right now. And I'm not going to grind here too long. I figured I'd use this 1000 Agris and then I'd move on. Because whenever I go to upload this, it's going to take me forever to upload anyway. If it ends up being a 30-minute video. The whole point of me running over here was to get one of these, and what you do is you open this up and you look for the plus ones, and you can sacrifice the plus ones down if you end up getting lucky enough to get the upgraded ones. Now they may not give upgraded ones anymore since they reworked this, but that's the whole idea. You just use your collecting scrolls. Who can we shoot with the missile? Anyway, run around, get the collection scrolls, and run and kill as many as you can. Just farm the heck out of blackstones. Sure, give me that XP that doesn't amount to anything. I was hoping I would get an upgraded down so I could show off how to do that. Oh, I need more quests. Making progress on the quest, but not enough. And as you can see, I don't try to aim for most efficient on grinding. I just kind of walk around and kill stuff. I'd be teleporting like crazy and shooting all over and gathering stuff up and nuking them down if I was trying to go as efficient as I could. But I just have more fun when I'm casual grinding, not really worrying about it too much. And zooming around. Alright, Rosar. See, I don't even know if you can get upgraded weapons from these anymore. So you need 9 of those and you can get the thing. So I ended up getting 5 stones in that short amount of time. The idea is to get the Rosar weapon boxes, get the upgraded ones, and what you do is you go to a blacksmith. And you might be able to just... Who knows? People aren't really selling them anymore. So you could get quite a few and get it upgraded and just buy one and then extract it. But I don't think that's still as efficient as grinding, really. Now, since the video's kind of ran on, I'm not going to run over there to Naga's, but I wanted to do this as kind of like a follow-up. This is what I do with my crap that I collect video, and the reason that I play the way that I do, and what is kind of important in-game for me. Yeah, still not upgraded ones. They might not be possible anymore. They may have made it more efficient. Used to, it would just drop the weapons, but they reworked it to where it drops weapon boxes because they were trying to cut down on the amount of inventory space and allow people to grind longer. But if you're not getting upgraded ones, hey look, there's an imperfect like Stone of Fire. That's a good drop. But if you're not getting the upgraded weapons, it kind of cuts down on the amount of blackstones that you can get. Because the whole idea from the blacksmith is you have to have a weapon that's been upgraded. With like a +1 or 2 or something. Or 4 or 5 or whatever. And usually you get like 6 or 7s on them. Or 3s. And then you could go take it to a blacksmith and have him extract blackstones out of it. And it was an easy source of blackstones. But I'm not getting any upgraded ones, so maybe I'm just unlucky. But that all being said, if you know if they even drop upgraded ones, leave in the comment. I'm stuck. Leave it in the comment, let me know, because I genuinely just don't know anymore. I don't grind enough to know. And if you liked the video, hit like, and I hope this answered any questions you had about how I use all the crap that I get from grinding, or kind of how I view moving forward in the game, and what I use my time grinding for. Hit sub, and that way you get notified for whenever new stuff comes out on the channel. And as I always say, thanks for spending what little time with me that you have. It does mean a lot. You know, likes, comments, they support the channel. They mean a lot too. So keep that stuff up, and I'll keep making content, and hopefully we all have a good time. So like I say every other time, as always, until next time.